Okay, YouTube trivia for this week. Gonna go through fast because I'm late. Here we go. First round, as always. In the news, 5 questions about stuff that's happened last week. Here's your first question. What comedian and longtime TV personality was seen ranting in frustration on the steps of the U.S. Congress last week after a vote to provide aid to veterans failed? Not emergency responders. Question 2. What athlete frequently in the news recently was featured on the cover of Time magazine last week? Question 3. According to fans, last week, July 31st, 2022, was the date of birth of what iconic TV character? Question 4. In response to a class action lawsuit stating that Tim Hortons violated customer privacy with their mobile app, what did they offer to people as compensation? Was it a $10 gift card, a free coffee and donut, or a free 20 box of Timbits? And your last in the news question, what U.S. state last week was hit with flash floods that caused the deaths of dozens of people? Next category is all about Disney movies. Here's your first question. In Disney Pixar's The Incredibles, what is the superpower of the teenage daughter Violet? Is it elasticity, invisibility, or super speed? Question 7. Danny DeVito provides the voice of Philoctetes, who goes by Phil, the mentor and trainer of what Disney title character? Question 8. Disney's 1963 film The Sword in the Stone tells the tale of a young King Arthur and his mentorship by the wizard Merlin. During this time, Merlin is assisted by his clever companion Archimedes, who is what type of animal? Question 9. Kaa from Disney's Jungle Book, who hypnotizes characters with his eyes, is what type of animal? And your last Disney question. A 2021 Disney Pixar movie tells the tale of a young sea creature boy living in the seas off the coast of Italy who ventures onto land and eventually wins the affection of the nearby townspeople. Named for the main character, what is this movie called? Your next category is called Who Was Canadian PM? I'm going to give you a moment in Canadian history. You just have to tell me who was the Prime Minister at the time. Here's your first question. World War II, the entire length. Who was the Canadian Prime Minister? Question 12. The FLQ crisis. Question 13. The last time the Blue Jays won the World Series. Question 14. Canada turns 100 years old. And your last one. The federal government grants women the right to vote. Okay, your last category in round number 1 is called Going Solo. I'm going to give you the name of a hit song. Each of these songs was by a person who previously was a lead singer for a popular band. You have to tell me the band that they were the lead singer for. I'm going to give you the song. Here's your first one. The Boys of Summer. The artist of this song, or the singer of the song, was previously the lead singer for what band? The next one. Heaven is a Place on Earth. Next we have Center Field, followed by Edge of 17, and the last one and last question for round 1 is Hollaback Girl. Okay, that's round number 1. I'm going to go into answers right now. Question 1. The comedian who yelled at much of the U.S. Senate was Jon Stewart. The athlete who was on the cover of Time magazine last week is Brittany Griner. According to fans, last week was the date of birth for George Jetson. Question 4. Tim Hortons offered their customers a free coffee and a donut. And your last in the news, the U.S. state that's hit with flash floods was Kentucky. Disney movies. Violet's power is invisibility. Danny DeVito provides the voice for Phil in Hercules. Sword in the Stone, Archimedes is an owl. Kaa is a snake. And this movie with this young sea creature boy is called Luca. Who is PM World War II for the entire length of World War II was William Lyon Mackenzie King. FLQ crisis at the time, Pierre Trudeau was the Prime Minister. Last time the Blue Jays won the World Series, this turns out to be a bit of a trick question because it was the brief time that Kim Campbell was the Prime Minister. Canada turns 100 years old in 1967, that's Lester Pearson, and the federal government granted women the right to vote in 1918 when Robert Borden was Prime Minister. Music, Boys of Summer is by Don Henley, formerly of the Eagles. Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle, she was the lead singer of the Go-Go's. Center Field is by John Fogerty of CCR. Edge of 17, Fleetwood Mac's Stevie Nicks, and the last one, Hollaback Girl, is No Doubt, song by Gwen Stefani. Okay, moving on, round 2. The first category is all about animals. Your first question, chinstrap, macaroni, and rockhopper are all types of what creature? On what type of creature would you most likely find compound eyes? Don't have to be very specific on this one. A dugong is most closely related to what kind of mammal? 24, monotremes are an order of mammal most notable for what behavior? And your last animal question, a javelina is most closely related to what sort of common animal? Number 6, this is called Bad Summaries. I'm going to give you a bad summary of a famous work of literature. Just have to name what book it is. Here's your first one. The majority of women are kept as broodmares by the wealthy with dreams of escaping to Canada. I hope they look good in red. Sexist. It's better. Hope they like the color red. 27. A bunch of teenage boys have an impromptu island vacation and argue over a shell. What could go wrong? Next one. Anthony Hopkins is a snooty butler while his master is a Nazi. Emma Thompson is right there, dude. Come on. This might be more of a movie summary. Question 29. 6 young girls in 1930s Edinburgh are assigned a new teacher who is in peak form. But despite her efforts, the young girls slowly unravel her life or something, culminating with her death slightly after the end of World War II. This is legit a poor summary because I just summarized a long passage from Wikipedia. And the last one, a young woman born in an English debtor's prison starts out as a seamstress, becomes wealthy only to be brought back into poverty or something. Okay, next category is called opposites. It's all about opposites. Here's your first question. You don't even need to be going 88 miles per hour to know that Hill Valley, an oxymoron, is the location that the characters of what popular movie franchise live in, buttheads. Question 32. You're yes, then you're no, you're in, then you're out, you're up, then you're down, you're wrong, when it's right, it's black, and it's white. These are lyrics from what hit song released in 2008, the name of which itself is an example of opposites? Question 33. Moral is to immoral. Expensive is to inexpensive. Fair is to unfair. And noble is to what? Question 34. The flag of the country of Indonesia is the exact opposite of the flag of what European country? And your last opposites. This is an image from what popular comic strip? Okay, last category is the word trail. In this category, the last 2 letters of one answer, yeah, you know how word trail works. Here we go. The first question, a slang term for a very important person. 37. The name of the cute creature in the movie franchise Gremlins, also a slang term for a gadget or piece of technology whose proper name is unknown. Question 38. A Middle Eastern country whose capital is Muscat. Question 39. A slang term for someone who reveals to authorities someone else's involvement in a crime. And your last one, something you might put a baby in. Also a slang term for your home. Lots of slang. Okay, that's the end of round 2. Let's take up some answers. Your first one, chinstrap. These are all types of penguin. Compound eyes were most likely found on insects or crustaceans. A dugong is most closely related to a manatee. Monotremes are most notable for laying eggs. And a javelina is a pig. That's an old answer. Ignore that. This is supposed to be pig. Forgot to put the answer down. Okay, it's a pig. Here we go. Summaries. This is The Handmaid's Tale. Next we have Lord of the Flies. This is Remains of the Day. Next, the next two I assume are much harder. This book is called The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. And then we have Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens. Opposites. So Hill Valley is the location that the characters exist in Back to the Future. This is a song by Katy Perry. It's called Hot and Cold. So this noble, the opposite of noble is ignoble. Indonesia has the exact opposite flag of Poland. It's basically red and over white, and Poland is white over red. And this is an image from Spy vs. Spy. Word trail, slang term for a very important person is bigwig. Next, the character in Gremlins' name is Gizmo. The Middle Eastern country is Oman. Slang term for someone who reveals your crimes is a narc. And last, something you might put a baby in is a crib. Let's go to round 3. Your first category is called Kate Walsh. This is Kate Walsh. She keeps showing up in TV shows I watch. So we're going to do a whole category about her. First question. Kate Walsh is likely best known for playing Dr. Addison Montgomery in Private Practice, which is a spin-off of what long-running medical drama? 42. In a Netflix original show, Kate Walsh plays the mother of a teenage girl who has committed suicide, with Walsh trying to figure out why. What is the name of this show? Question 43. In another Netflix original show, because of Walsh's unavailability, her marketing firm instead sends Phil Collins' real-life daughter to Europe, where her boorish American style is not greeted kindly. What is the name of this show? Question 44. Walsh also has a starring role in the first season of an anthology series alongside Martin Freeman and Billy Bob Thornton, who murders her husband, based on what 1996 Oscar-winning film? And your last question about Kate Walsh. Early in her career, Walsh had a recurring role as Nikki Pfeiffer on The Drew Carey Show, which was famously set in what American city? Okay, category 10 is called Flags of the World. You know what this means. Tell me what country has this flag. And then this one. This one. This one. And lastly, this one. Easy peasy. Okay, next category is general knowledge. What does the word compendium mean? Is it a meeting of senior members of a community, a final proposition, condition, or demand, or a collection of detailed information about a subject? Question 52. To the nearest whole number, what is the typical pH value of water? Question 53. What accomplished author, most notable for an earlier 1970s movie, wrote the screenplay for the original Superman movie? Question 54. In Christianity, who is the morning star? And 55. The island of Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean is a territory of what country? Okay, last category is 3-pointers. First question. What 3 actors portray the potential fathers in the 2008 film Mamma Mia? Question 57. Who are the top 3 scorers in Toronto Raptors franchise history? Question 58. According to multiple sources, after the USA, what 3 countries have the most billionaires? Question 59. What 3 actors portray the sisters on the long-running TV series Charmed? And your last question, in what year was Napoleon Bonaparte born? 3 points if exact, 2 points if within 3 years, and 1 point if within 10. Okay, let's take up the answers. Kate Walsh question. So, Private Practice is a spin-off of Grey's Anatomy. This show, where she plays the mother of a teenage girl, is called 13 Reasons Why. This next Netflix original show is called Emily in Paris. Martin Freeman, Billy Bob Thornton, and Kate Walsh starred in the first season of the TV show Fargo, and Drew Carey show was set in Cleveland. Flags, this is Brazil, next Germany, Lebanon, South Africa, and finally Turkey. General knowledge, a compendium is a collection of detailed information about a subject. Typical pH value of water is 7. The screenplay for the original Superman was written by 2 people, one of whom was Mario Puzo. The morning star in Christianity is the devil. And Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean is a territory of the UK. 3 potential fathers in Mamma Mia are played by Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, and Stellan Skarsgård. Top 3 scorers in Toronto Raptors history: DeMar DeRozan, Chris Bosh, and Kyle Lowry. 3 countries with the most billionaires after the US: China, India, and Germany. Sisters on Charmed are portrayed by Alyssa Milano, Shannon Doherty, Piper Marie Combs, and I will also accept Rose McGowan, who shows up halfway through the show. And your last question, Napoleon Bonaparte was born in 1769. There you go, that's trivia for this week. Hope you enjoyed it.